Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Warforge. And today we're finally bringing a proper video to the channel. I've been doing some streams here and there. Definitely been excited about the drops and all of that, and just haven't had really a lot of time to sit and test decks and really work on something. And to be honest, I was thinking of working on some of the other warlords, but after the meta report came out and it showed that Ursula Creed already is boasting an over 55% win rate. I just wanted to talk about the deck that, to be honest, will most likely be my Imperial Guard climbing deck for the season for the Astra Militar. I think the cat's out of the bag. We knew the Warlord was going to be strong. It's the Magus talent, but for stratagems, so it can pull legendary stratagems. Of course, it can pull other things. But really the highlight of these random stratagems from the entire card pool for these warlords in terms of their talent is just incredibly powerful. And you can't really play around it, right? So the fact that I can stock another Warhead in my deck that other people can't, and there's almost like this inevitability, right? The fact that I can pull those legendaries more than anyone else can is a problem. And that's why I think this deck will just be top tier, and I imagine folks are going to be playing it just like they played Magus Uthril and Primus Sappha. But obviously that direct comparison between Magus and Creed is very clear. So before I get too caught up on that, I'm very excited to bring a build that Slither had shared early on, and I've maybe made a couple tweaks here and there, but just want to shout out Slither, who is just a gamer through and through, great deck builder. And if you'd like a more in-depth guide for builds that are similar to this, we're going to be doing a bonus episode of the podcast of Card Talk with Harry and I. Bring it on, Slither, again. That'll be dropping sometime this weekend, and I'm recording as of Thursday. So I'm excited for that. But let's just get into the deck. And honestly, I feel like people know this stuff pretty well, so we'll kind of run through it. But it is still, week one-ish on the Astra Militar. So what cards are we playing? Why are we playing them? Let's talk about it. So Faeburn Vanquisher, again, knew this card was going to be good. If you're not playing with it, I think you're missing out. A 1 energy 1/2/2 that reduces a troop, right? And that includes vehicles, and we've got some really expensive but powerful vehicles to synergize with. So you should be running this card in every deck. Cadian Medic is something that I am trying out and generally have been pretty happy with. You could play Shock Troopers over them, right? They both have 3 health. Cadian Medic is one of those things where if you get the right setup with Ursula, because her duty ability is to make a shock troop, you can sometimes get these early game snowballs where it feels like you're playing Sisters or you're playing like Tau from, I guess, ages ago, where you can set up a board where basically you can't get to the medic, and the medic is just netting you this incredible and crazy value. So I've really liked it personally. Ratling has just impressed me through and through. It's just an excellent 2-drop rare, and just allows you to clear 3 health units. And if you can protect it, similar to the medic, you're going to get this value accrued in the early game that really puts you ahead into the mid and late game. Vox Operator is a must. This is one of the best infantry units because it enables all of the vehicles that you need it to, right? So when I was revealing and talking about the Leman Vanquisher, I was like, okay, this card's kind of whatever, but if you can guarantee the duty ability, this thing is just a the ability from the Eldar. It is just that 8 damage to the face on a stick, right? So sorry to the Eldar players. It's been a long day, so I can't even remember what the card is called. But that's what you got on the Leman Vanquisher, thanks to the Vox Operator. But I would say the best interaction with Vox Operator that comes up quite a lot is the Bombast Field Gun. And I kind of overlooked this. I looked at this vehicle and I was like, I don't think this is doing much, because I wasn't even thinking about the flank interactions yet. So you do have to enable this through the Vox Operator. Up front, this card is not very good unless you have protection. But when you get flank with this, it's excellent. So before I get it ahead of myself there, that's why Vox Operator, I think, whether you're playing infantry or vehicles, I just think Vox Operator is probably going to be in your deck. And it just enables the vehicles to operate at such a higher level, and it's just like a solid, whatever reasonably statted unit, that I just think there's no reason not to play it. One of Autocannon Squad, you could play more of this. It's honestly felt fine at one. You can flank this in if you need like a cheaper flanking vehicle to get in there and clear something. Sometimes this gets protected and kind of goes off, but it is a little bit weak to every single flank card in the game. So I don't think having two is that necessary. Now, this isn't a new include as of us recording this video. I got Minka, and I just think as a 3-drop, it offers what you want, right? It's got really good all-around stats, and if it lives, great. Now I have a way to reload duty abilities on troops, and even though we're not running a super infantry heavy list, it also buffs their ranged attack. But I would say the kind of, I guess, not so hidden but important piece of this card is friendly infantry cost 1 less, right? So discounting your Vox Operator, discounting your Ogryn, the Attilan Rough Rider, even Nork coming in there, right? That's just like giving you quite a bit of value. I don't know if this is the best in the slot. I shaved one of the Bullgryn Boneheads because I do like him, but I just think that the kind of 5 to 6 is a little bit crowded. And so I kind of wanted to just try like what is a generally pretty high value card that I got recently. So you tell me in the comments if you feel like that makes sense. Ogryn, I just think that Imperial Guard have some really great 3-drops, just good stats. It helps set up your early snowballing as well, so why not? One summary of execution feels important. It's good in certain matchups. It's not going to be great in other ones. But I think one has generally felt good, and I haven't really wanted to cut it to play something else. So I would give it a shot if you're a little skeptical. Attilan Rough Rider, this thing is just an all-star. It does exactly what you need it to do, to reset the board, to maybe pull a little bit ahead, even getting some advantage on your ranged attack with all of the regiment abilities. So getting that twice, potentially right on 6 energy. Play your Attilan Rough Rider, play your Medic. Right, you get to attack with Attilan, heal, attack with Attilan, heal again. So I really like that. Cadian Standard Bearer, nothing to say here, folks. Great 4-drop, put it in your deck. It's just really good value. There's no downside of this card. Scout Sentinel, I was kind of off of this card initially, but then the more and more I played the deck, it's just like a nice role filler, right? So they're going to trade 2 attacks into it, and then sometimes you'll get the duty trigger, and that's fine. And this Warlord doesn't need a ton of card advantage anyway, because the talent's already busted enough. So Scout Sentinel is just like a fine little vehicle. You can flank this in if you need to smack something early on. That's fine. And then Field Gun, this is just one of, when you lose the board playing Imperial Guard, unless it's late game and you've got the Warhead, it's really hard to come back. And so Bombast Field Gun fills this important role on usually 7 energy, because you're going to go Vox Operator into the Field Gun to really help you clean up the board and get back that advantage. And honestly, you don't have to use the duty ability all the time. If you just get to long range take out something with 5 health and not have any damage traded back onto you, that's also a great application of flank and long range as well. Bullgryn Bone'ead, you can play 2 of these. I think this guy is well statted. It's really nice when you go this into Chimera, then it gets 2 armor. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to miss it. I think 1 will probably be fine. Chimera, this is great, right? Being able to trigger the duty ability off of flank you can do as well. But also just we have plenty of infantry lying around, so when it hits the board and we've got 1 or 2 things there, they're going to get that armor 1 benefit. And then you get some more shock troopers, and you're kind of off to the races. Nork, I think probably just should be in every Astra Militarum deck. I'm not surprised. It's just a well-statted 6-drop that then also nets you value if it sticks around with Renowned Bodyguard. So I also love that he's like, "Oh, right, get behind me," and he's there to smoke a cigar and tear it up. Leman Russ tank. I figured this card would be one of the more popular tanks because of the stats and the cost, but I think it still plays better than I imagined, and that's because Regiment is so well supported, much more well supported, I think, than Mob, in the sense that you've got units that you can get out early and kind of help them stick to the board, and then benefit from regiment. So Leman Russ is very scary. The fact that you can pull the stratagem with Ursula that reduces the cost by 2 for that turn, and it costs 0 energy to play, makes this really, really crazy. So yeah, it's been very good. Leman Russ Vanquisher just feels like a nice other option to close out the game. That 8 damage to face, or potentially I guess 12 or 11 if they have armor or something like that, is just really nice when you've got the Vox Operator pushing. But yeah, you can still just kind of slam it, and your opponent sort of has to deal with it, and that's about it. And then of course there's Godspear Warhead, which we can get away with playing because we are kind of going into the late game. The fact that we can pull multiple of this card is why Ursula is just even better than anything else you really could be doing with Astra Militarum, because this is already insane. Having multiple of it, potentially playing one on turn 8 and then turn 9 or something, it feels very unfair. And then we're doing one Rogal Dorn tank. There is the stratagem that allows you to pull vehicles out of your deck, and Rogal Dorn does do what I thought the 9-drop needed to do, which is if you are somewhat ahead, you slam this and you basically win the game through the regiment triggers, or you play it and they really have to work hard to kill it unless they're teching specific hard removal. You could play 2, you could lean more into the vehicle synergies. I've thought about that a little bit, but honestly I've kind of liked the balance of infantry and vehicles and tempo and late game so far with this build. So it's enough talking from me. Let's just get into some games and see how it does. And to be honest, still learning the deck, been playing it a couple days on stream. Feel free to check out more gameplay through that. But it is just really powerful. I just think it's going to be over 60% win rate in legendary rank. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Sure, it can have some tough matchups. Sure, it can have some ways of getting out aggressed. But generally, I think it's going to be fairly consistent. This is a great matchup. I'm glad we're playing this because I do think that Warlord can definitely beat us down and see what we can do. So I'm just going to shift these back. We just want to focus on early game. These are both fine 3-drops. Obviously, the Ogryn's like a little bit better in some senses. But yeah, shift those back, see what else we can draw. Great. Got some early stuff to do. And we've got the timely reinforcements to maybe put some roadblocks up against the Swarmlord. Alright, well, nothing to it but to do it. So, we can make a troop, we can play timely and reinforcement. They'll be able to take out one, and then we could play Minka into Ogryn or something like that. It all just kind of depends on how fast they can come out the gate. The other option, obviously, is just getting a stratagem. But I think curving Minka into Ogryn into maybe Nork is going to be really hard for them to deal with. So I'm going to try going for more of like an aggressive line here. You don't really want to use your duty ability like this unless you have something to set up into. But that's kind of what I'm thinking here. So we also have the Cadian Medic too. So we're going to play Minka. And then we're going to attack for 2 because this is going to die. We get a nice attack there, right? And then I can try and cheat a little bit on his ranged attack here. This is definitely going to die. But then next turn, we can go, like Medic into Ogryn or... and it's nice. They've had a really bad start, so this is how we're going to try and pull ahead. So we've also got +1 range to your troops, reload your duty abilities. It's kind of wild. I just haven't really played with this card yet, so I'm still reading it myself. So here, I think actually the most energy efficient play is to go our bearer, which is really now. I mean, look at this board already, right? So we're going to attack first with Minka because we want her health to go low so that we can trigger the regiment ability there. So if it hit my Warlord, then I have another 50-50 shot to hit there. But so I have to worry about Rapacious Hunger to some degree, right? But also, if they can't really interact with me in the next turn or two, we're just going to go off with Cadian Standard Bearer's duty ability, and we're just going to pull too far ahead. So let's see what they do. I mean, if they have a Gargoyle here, that would help them. Okay, Carnifex is always tough, but again, I think we're we're fairly far ahead here. So, man, so we can go duty, reload, and I don't know if it lets us do it again though. So that's kind of an issue. So we've got Ogryn to protect. We've got, or we could just slam Nork. I think it's probably best to slam Nork. And then go from there. Although we can get the regiment ability or advantage off of this, but Ogryn's pretty easy to clear for them. So I think let's do this. I think we do want to play Nork, and then I'm gonna use this ability and just cash in on as much damage as I can here, because if Rapacious Hunger hits, I'm not gonna be happy. So. Just gonna do as much damage as we can to their face. It's funny because like I don't feel like this deck is an aggro deck, but you can have starts like this where you just kind of go crazy, and I can see how Minka just discounting our hand makes this even stupider. Yeah. So like, I think if we're not having a start like that, Stormlord probably can beat us down, and because he can clear shock troopers with the 3 energy attacks every turn and then play to the board. That should be pretty good, but, you know, we had a start like that, and they had a slow start, so it is going to happen that way. The Swarmlord also boasted, I think, the highest win rate, or one of the higher win rates for last patch, and I just don't see any reason why that would change that much. But yeah, Ursula, be strong, so it's pretty wild. And I will catch you guys in the next game. Okay. Got Anva here. Alright. Well, Anva's got some AoE, which can help them. But yeah, we get to go nice Vanquisher into potentially like Bear plus something else. This is just some good stuff. Also, the Attilan Rough Rider helps clear out some stuff. Balduco. Alright. The Necron Warlord himself. Well, let's see what we can do. I have not really played this matchup much. So I could go double duty and do it this way, or I could play Vanquisher. But honestly, I think we can just... the thing is, we're not really trying to protect anything in particular. So we don't have to use our ability here. It would help us like control the board a bit more. I think I'm okay doing this because just getting this on the board. And then, okay, well, I'm going to take High Command. I mean, this is the perfect example, right? The fact that I can pull this legendary stratagem off is pretty nuts, and it's discounted, right? I do think that the easiest way to nerf this Warlord is taking the discount off, and or if you don't want to take the discount off, you just don't allow legendaries in the pool, and I think that would be totally reasonable. All right, speaking of, so we're going to take care of one of the hounds. This is going to die, guaranteed. So I think it's probably just play Ogryn. And then we can play another timely reinforcements, but like, you know, this gets traded on really easily. I think I'd rather save it for like a turn where I need another Vanguard unit. But because duty takes your attack, I kind of like to use her ability. I wouldn't say early, but just like when I don't have to, you know, I'm taking a turn off from attacking, so I'm going to want to do that. I will say, I think when I have played this matchup, what I noticed about the Tau, right, is that they do have some of the best like ground clearing flankers. So I think it could be quite good. Alright, so we've got Attilan Rough Riders, which kind of gets us back in the game here. And we have like a pretty clean removal of the Hound. So I think that's what we're going to do. Get that double attack. Not sure. I'll take 2 here. Could play Timely here. So honestly not the worst to be able to soak up, but then it's going to die. I'll probably play it next turn because my hand's going to get a little bit fuller. Because the other consideration is I have the Attilan Rough Rider here, so I might want to have no troops on the board. Okay, yeah, so get to trade there, get to clear there. Okay, there's Ratling, which is not terribly useful. Because we don't really want to make range attack on this. It's probably just Attilan into Vanquisher. Just to clear this out. This will die. And then we'll play Vanquisher, see what we hit. And I think from this standpoint I'm gonna make the field gun a little cheaper. Reason being is that when we do hit our Vox Operator, being able to play the combo a little bit more cheaply, I think is good. I think another thing that Tau have going for them is shield. So like you do have to put in a little work before Godspear Warheading. Alright, well, we don't have any stealth units, so this is purely a turn trying to get whatever advantage we can. And so that's going to be Ratling, hoping we hit the 50-50, I think. And the question is, what else do I want to play? Because I can't really interact, but we also can't sit here and do nothing. So, so I think could play out our timely reinforcements here. I mean, they're going to get cleared out pretty easily. Okay, well, we hit there, which is unfortunate. I think I'm going to try and make them work a little bit to get to our 2 decent units. But I don't love this position. We haven't had, like, any pressure. So, yeah. Don't think this is a good spot for us to be in. Okay, and then his Beltic are going to grab shields, maybe, for a flanker later. Yeah, so they smash there. Okay, they're going to trade that full ranged attack. That makes sense. Hit there, yeah. Good trades all around. Okay, well we do hit the Vox Operator, which is really nice. So I think that's just what we're going to do. Yeah.
New orders in from command. Target sighted. Let there be fire.
Let that be fire. So we'll go here. Okay, clears out that. We still have to make an attack here, which is annoying. But such is life. So yeah, that's how we get back to the board is clear. Thing is, though, we are lower on cards. We're gonna have to. Our talent's gonna have to pull some weight here. Yeah, I was kind of hoping not for the long spear, but it is what it is. So he didn't pull shields because I feel like, well, I guess you don't really need to. So they could still have shields. Yeah, so I guess we'll Commandant first, see what we hit. Yeah, Thunderous Charge doesn't do it. We could mechanize the infantry, but then they're just gonna kill everything, right? So yeah. All right, I guess I'm taking Thunderous Charge. Is there any way I can make this work? So this is 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I can't clear. I guess, but I get the concuss. Yeah, I mean this is pretty bad, I would say. Yeah, the concuss goes off, which is good, and then we're probably warheading. I don't want to attack into that. Yeah, this is a pretty bad position to be in. Now I'm really hoping what I could do is go like warhead into the 9 energy card that pulls 2 vehicles. But yeah, I mean, I still think this is sort of like a tempo mid-range deck. I wouldn't call it control, so I think Anval might be a little bit more favored in this matchup. Yeah, and this card just gets such great value in this matchup because it can be the tank killer. Yeah, so they did grab the shield. That makes sense. Now I'm pretty much forced to use Godspear Warhead, which I'm sure Balduco is calculating for. But maybe High Command can catch us up next turn. Either way, I don't really have a choice here. Can't take that much damage, and I can't clear anything. So that's what we got to do. Yeah, I honestly, from this spot, I don't really know how we can come back. Yeah, good turn. Balduco. And at some point, they're just going to be able to do lethal to me without having to work too hard. Okay, I mean, this is good. I just try and dump my hand here, maybe? I don't know. Thing is, I don't want to miss out on these triggers, so I think, okay, well, there's the Siege Warfare. That is exactly what I was thinking. So we're going to play as much as we can and then a High Command. So we just have 5 energy to work with. So yeah, I guess we'll Scout Sentinel and then Vanquisher on the Chimera just to make that cheaper for future turns. We'll High Command, and then we will Siege Warfare. Okay, yeah, it's one of the worst ones. Okay. Alright, so this is 6, 10 plus 5 is 15. So they have 15 damage, so we could honestly be dead here. I guess we just play for clearing. So, because I want to get the regiment proc here. So we could just be dead. If they have Fusillade plus Storm of Fire, we're dead. But I think at this point you gotta just kind of coin flip to see if somehow you can get there. So I would say if the meta maybe shifts to decks that can kind of go over the top of what Ursula is doing, then it might be beneficial to build her a little bit more vehicle late game centric. I think that could be pretty solid for her if that. But I think probably just in a vacuum, this type of build is what I would prefer to climb with. Okay, this looks like a Fusillade based on. Oh no, okay, Lone Spear. Yeah, Lone Spear eats this Bombast for breakfast, which is real bad. Alright, and they're going to take out the, yeah. Because this would be a great place for me to draw too, right? So that's why the Sentinel is definitely worth playing. I mean, I kind of need some sort of removal here. I mean, maybe. So Armored Squadron costs 3. We go to 6 energy. I mean, we can kind of create a decent board here. It's going to get blasted through. So we go here, we go there. This won't die from the blast though, and then we can. Yeah, I think then we Chimera, and then I guess. I can get 4 damage here. The question is, like, how am I ending this game? I guess the best thing we could do is, so we know we don't die, and then we draw Rogal Dorn and try and get lethal off that. So I think we're attacking here. I think I will not attack with my Warlord. But, yeah, I mean, this is, 8 plus 4 is 12. right? So if they have this dead, we can take 12 damage to the face. So it's kind of a matter of time, but if somehow they can't interact with our board that much this turn and we do pull the Rogal Dorn, maybe we can get there, but I don't know. Yeah. Might be time to break out the Anva as a good answer to some of the meta. I will definitely, just as our opponent, as Beltic is thinking here, I will definitely be putting out a meta video this week and just highlighting kind of the breakout decks, you know, really considering the meta report that came out. A lot of it, I would say, was not surprising. So, okay. So, yep, is this double Stormfire? I think so. Oh, Fusillade plus, yeah, that's enough. You got a Beldico. Yep, they didn't need much. They basically, like, either one of those cards would essentially do it. But yeah, both fully kills me. GG's. Always good to play against a great player. Let's do one more for the video. But hopefully y'all are getting a sense of the deck and just kind of how to think about it. Huh. Vanquisher into Vanquisher. I mean, these are just great. I can go double Vanquisher turn 1. Yeah, sure. Sure, why not? It is such a powerful ability. I think I said this before, but I'm hoping we get more 1-drops that just offer utility. Not necessarily mana cheats, but like utility. Like you play it, it's gonna die, but it like gives regen to a card in your hand, or like armor or something. Maybe not armor, but you get what I mean. Like it'd be kind of nice if like the game had to play more of these like utility cards over like certain haymakers and stuff. Play more around synergy, maybe. Okay. So we're gonna go. The thing is, I was about to say we're gonna go off, but we're playing against Chaos, so that's just like generally a bad idea. And they get to clear with their talent. So you know what? We're not gonna do that. We're gonna chill. Sweet. Let's cheapen the tank. And then what's our next turn? It's 3 energy. So this will drop to 5. I think making the bearer costs 3. Yeah. I think I prefer that. I think I'm okay hitting. But yeah, I'm not gonna put anything more on the board because we're gonna get got by spawn and we're gonna get got by Traitor's Hate. Okay, sure. A little annoying because we don't have a good clear on this, but that's fine. Do I want to play Standard Bearer? I guess I am. It's still okay from this perspective. I could also play another Timely here, but I think I'm going to save that for prior to Leman Russ. And even if they double clear here, then we've got the Attilan Rough Rider to clean up whatever else is there. So, okay. Yep, makes sense. Attilan hit there, sure. Okay, another bearer is nice. Let's just plop that down on the board. I'll probably use this talent next turn. I think that makes sense. And just in case we're gonna get killed here, I think we just cash in for some damage off the bearer. Let's see what they have. Okay, bringer. No. Clear that, and then are they gonna kill the bearer? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That is acceptable. Yeah, we do not have a good answer to play bearer. So, man, This is okay. So here's what we do. Yeah. Yeah. Wish I could use my talent this turn, but that's just not how it's going to work. And I do want to clear this. I'm not going to let this hit me and potentially be a problem. And I think because we do have the Leman Russ potentially coming next turn, we'll use our timely there because we can't use our ability. I mean, the way some of these games play out, I almost kind of want the reconnaissance card to be able to draw two. Obviously, it matches up well into some other decks. Alright, so they're going to clear. Unfortunately. And I don't want to take the 50-50 on Galaron's champion, so I don't think I will. Especially because I can play the Sentinel out. Because then I lose my Leman Russ. This is tough, but I'm kind of hoping we can find something off our talent here that will... Okay. High Command would be nice, but Artillery Strike is going to guarantee us clearing this unit this turn, so I think I prefer that. Oh, and they use the blind, so they get a free clear. That's nice. Alright, well the tempo's in their hands, which is not good, but taking out Galaron's champion so that we don't get got by the talent, I think is... I don't know, it's tough. Like, I could take the 50-50 on the Russ being able to clear it, but I just... Unless we were really far behind, I don't think we want to be that greedy. Okay, so decide to play Chosen. Okay. I feel like this is setting up for a Murderous Desires. Because they could have played the 4-drop that pings. And instead they play this and then Hosts. So I'm going to kind of read this situation. And I'm just going to run out my Rough Rider. Which it kind of sucks to have to just 1-for-1 here. But I think that's what we want to be doing. And I think because, again, we're trying to set up this Leman Russ, so I'm going to take the turn to use my talent here. So, see what Spiritmonger does. They can obviously now play the 4-drop, ping my Shock Trooper, clear the Shock Trooper. Okay. That's pretty good. Now they get the mark. Oh man, we are in trouble. We are very much in trouble. So let's see what we can draw here. Okay, we've got move. We've got Thunderous Charge. We've got Armored Squadron. So move allows us to play Bonehead and attack. And concuss it. Oh man. God, this is... Or are we Squadron and play Medic? That seems terrible. I think... Alright. Yeah. Man, I don't love this. Since we have to do 2 attacks to clear this anyway, I'm going to save that 1 health. Okay, well, this will die, but... I don't think I can let that thing live. But this is really sketchy. Being off tempo. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not the end of the world. Definitely hoping for an artillery strike. But there's no way of guaranteeing it, so let's just hope it hits. Did not hit the target we needed it to. That is very bad. Alright, well. Still low on life. I mean, if we can just somehow swing the board here, that would be... Oh, boy. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Get another Dark Pact. Okay, I'm glad that went on the unit that can't attack me this turn. Okay, alright. So we can clear here. I can maybe get 2 damage on here. Ratling would be 3 with Medic. But, like, I can't... I think I have to Warhead. The only argument for not doing it is I hit something off commandment that allows me to hit this.
Stop wasting time.
But I think that's just probably too greedy. Yeah. I think I just got to do this. It's not great, but they don't have a ton of cards in their hand. Just thinking if I want to hit them here. I don't think so. We could die to a lot of things here. So, yeah. This is a sketchy one. That's it. Okay. Well, that's pretty freaking important for us. Alright. So that's...
You could be a great follower.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. And I think the way I want to do this, take a 50-50 on heal, or do I heal myself? I think we're doing that. For sure. The question is, do I play another unit, or do I grab a stratagem here? But I think... I'll take a little bit of a gamble here. I'm hoping the heal goes here, but they're going to go to 3. Okay. Let's hope that we're not dead to Helldrake Strike. Execution, okay. Helldrake. Might be dead here. We are not. We're not dead. We are dead. Oh, it's a draw.
It is not zealotry, but undeniable truth.
Or... Yeah, okay. Alright, well that's funny that we got a draw in the video. It's been a... I don't know if we ever have. So, I guess it's a weird way to end the video, but I guess that's where we'll go. We got 1 loss, 1 win, 1 draw. So let's talk about the deck. I think one thing that I do notice is into decks that can go a little bit over the top of her. I do wish I had a little bit more late game tools. However, I think with the meta, I don't know. It's hard. We'll see where the meta shifts. I think, you know, proactive decks like Abaddon, like Swarmlord, like a lot of the Eldar. I feel like this build does better into those decks because you're not going so late game focused. But I think into maybe more control chaos, I don't expect to see Galron a ton. But I think into Tau, maybe into Necrons to some degree. Yeah, I think you can tweak this build. But I really feel like the build does pretty well. Sometimes, you know, games like that happen where, you know, you're kind of fighting for board a lot of the time, but sometimes you get these nut starts like we did in the first game of the video, but also when you go second and have timely reinforcements, it's just not hard to set up a board that can't penetrate like the medic or the Ratling. They're just giving you a bunch of value. And then at some point you kind of turn the corner and start dropping like Chimera, Leman, Russ, and then maybe, you know, like your Vanquisher or like your Rogal Dorn. And it gets pretty crazy. So, you know, I'm sure no one's surprised that I'm making video on this. I am working on videos for the other warlords, but to be frank, I just don't see Ursula not being top tier this season. I think that Leontis, you know, Mr. Horse Guy, will also do pretty well because the extra health, the duty trigger just being kind of generically good, and the fact that you can like probably just do like tall vehicle stuff with him, uh, and like the stats are pretty solid when you go wide. I feel like he'll be good too. It's a shame because I want Denkler to be good. I think that is more my playstyle and more fun, but you just have worse card advantage, and it's way more fragile. So I guess that's if you needed any incentive to play Ursula Creed, that's my pitch to you. So thanks so much for joining in the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are gunning for 1,000 subscribers, and I will say now, we will definitely be doing something very special. So if we can get those likes up and those subscribes up and keep pushing, I will be planning some special stuff, potentially even before December, but definitely by December we'll be getting there. So thanks for sticking with the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.